Well, hey there, and welcome to another After Hours chat. Tiffany here, and today I am with another awesome artist, creator, filmmaker that I had the pleasure of meeting at Horror Hotel Film Festival. And I met a lot of really cool people here. I've already had a few of them on the podcast, and stuff like that. It's always such a great place to, and just a big shout out to them for just bringing all kinds of creative types together, giving them a place to showcase their work and to have other opportunities of winning awards and doing different monologue competitions. If you've not been to the Horror Hotel International Film Festival, they are getting their 2027 one together, so I very highly recommend it. But today I have another really cool guest. And would you want to introduce yourself to our lovely audience?
Absolutely. Thank you for having me on, Tiffany.
Yeah,
My name is Jason Klingensmith. I am an actor, writer, director, editor, filmmaker. Yeah, the indie circle. We do everything. We
do everything. Yes.
Yeah. And also a Halloween fanatic. And my very first screenplay, actually, the first placing that it got in 2015 was at Horror Hotel. Nice. And I believe that's the year I bought this shirt. So I've had this shirt for a while now.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. It's I've been back several times since 2015, including this year, obviously, where I had the pleasure of meeting you.
Yeah. Cool. Very cool. It was awesome. And when we were chatting before we started recording this, you mentioned that you just wrapped up a film called Open Casket. Would you like to talk a little bit about that?
Yes. So Open Casket, it's a screenplay I wrote. The story is it follows 6 independent filmmakers who sneak into an abandoned funeral home to shoot a short 48-hour style horror film for a local film contest.
Yeah.
Things go south during their rehearsals when their lead actress gets trapped in a casket. It's a race against time to get her free from the casket. Meanwhile, somebody is hunting them through this abandoned funeral home anytime they do try to get help. So it's, it was pretty surreal being on set, and there was some very talented actors, and hearing them say my words, I got chills probably 10, 15 times just watching it unfold before my eyes, which was amazing.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, especially because because you act, you do a little bit of everything, as do I. Because like you said, in the indie world, it's like you're kind of wearing many, many hats, which is good because I personally, I love being able to do a little bit of everything. I mean, it can be tiring, but but it's always great to just learn the different ropes of filmmaking or of music making, because I also do music, so and just learning, like, not just the singing end, like the performance end, but also the production end, but it's always amazing and kind of surreal, I would say, to see somebody else saying your words, saying your lines, and how, like, when did it hit you that, oh my gosh, these are my words, my productions being performed?
Well, all right. So I've directed, written probably about 30 to 40 shorts and webisodes, but this being my first feature, and instead of filmmaker friends, it was people that I'd met that very first day on set.
Nice.
We filmed over 10 days in Sumter and Florence, South Carolina. The first day, we basically did a table read and rehearsals. And I would say it was basically throughout the course of that table read, especially on the second read through, where you started to see the cast develop some chemistry amongst themselves. And this was 6 people that had never met, and we're in a room. And it's just like, I'm getting chills right now just talking about it.
Yeah.
It was very cool.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. And what and how did you come to decide to make this particular, to make Open Casket as opposed to maybe other stuff that you might be currently writing right now?
That is a great question. So I actually wrote Open Casket way back
Mhm.
in 2016.
Yeah.
So I acted in a film called The Kingsbury Run, and we
Okay.
filmed at the House of Wills in Cleveland. I'm not sure if you're familiar with it.
I've heard of it. Yeah.
It's a very creepy, awesome location.
Hmm.
And I had one scene in the film, and they gave us a little tour of the building beforehand.
Oh,
And
nice.
so I was off book, knew my lines. As I'm sitting there
Mhm.
waiting to, for my scene, I'm mentally
Yeah.
writing Open Casket. And I get home and I start writing Open Casket. And I think it
Hmm.
was the fourth feature that I'd written. And it was the first one where I kind of tried to put budget into consideration.
Right.
I knew I wanted to keep it small cast, one
Hmm.
location.
Yeah.
So I wrote the script. It did pretty
Hmm.
well in several contests in 2017, including
Yeah.
Crimson Screen in South Carolina, which is an amazing film festival.
Yeah.
Get there if you ever can, because Tommy Faircloth that does an amazing job running it.
Hmm.
But anyhow, so at some point I was going to try to do a teaser trailer and produce it myself in
Yeah.
Northeast Ohio. I'm from Northeast Ohio.
Hmm.
Um, but that just never materialized. And then
Hmm.
that was probably 2019, 2020. I was working on
Okay.
that. I just kind of abandoned it. And
Right.
then in 2025, I took a short horror comedy that I wrote and directed called Vroom, which
Okay.
was vampires raising our offspring mortals. Took
Okay. Yeah.
that to Crimson and
Hmm.
got an amazing reception. And I met Mark A. Williams, who had his first feature film playing at
Okay.
Crimson as well. Film
Yeah.
Mary's Lake, excellent camp slasher, I'll always love camp slashers. So we
Oh my
bonded.
gosh, who doesn't love camp slashers? Come on,
Right.
Sleepaway Camp, Friday the
Yeah.
13th, hey.
I grew up on those Friday the 13th marathons. So
Hmm.
we hit it off, and uh, he asked me about a film that he was producing
Hmm.
last December about acting
Yeah.
in it. So I went down there and I acted in it. Wolf 1945, that's still in post production. It's
Okay.
actually it's not a werewolf movie. It's a World War II
Okay.
thriller.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
It's an
Yeah.
amazing film, but he's still in post production with that.
Hmm.
But I thought to myself, I was like, he did an amazing job on his first film. He seems
Yeah.
like someone I want to work with. So I reached out to him
Hmm.
and we started communicating, and he read Open Casket, and
Yeah.
now Open Casket is something that's been filmed, which is amazing. So I can't
Oh,
wait for it
that's
to come
awesome.
out.
That is awesome. So you mentioned you really liked the summer camp slashers,
Yes,
and would you say that that's been like a very big influence on your writing? And are there any other influences that you've had on your writing and your work?
that's another good question. Yes and no.
Uh-huh.
Because I mean, I guess I've written a couple slashers, but I write more
Mhm.
comedy than anything.
Oh, okay.
Um,
Hmm.
and I wish I had a good answer for this question because I know people have like their favorite filmmakers and stuff growing up.
Yeah.
I really didn't have one. I've learned more
Hmm.
from the independent people on the shorts
Hmm.
that I've worked on, doing
Oh, cool.
48s, doing independent films, and
Yeah.
learning in person that way has had a bigger influence than anything I watched when I was younger.
Hmm. Yeah. Well, and that's the thing. Like, there are so many good writers out there, so
Mhm.
many good filmmakers, and so many good musicians out there. Sometimes it is hard to just pick one person who
Right.
influenced you, because I know I have a ton of different influences. Sometimes I'm influenced like musically. Sometimes I'm influenced by like Ozzy Osbourne and Black
Oh, I
Sabbath.
love Ozzy.
Sometimes I'm influenced by Lorena McKennitt and Clannad and Enya. I mean, it depends on what the song calls for. But no, I totally hear you. And especially even in the especially like also in the indie world, there are so many hidden gems and just talented people that also can be great influences. And was there any in your attending indie film festivals, was there any one person that you would say left a lasting impression on you?
Oh man, what? I don't know that any one person. You meet so many people at these
Yeah.
festivals, and I mean, Mark obviously left an impression, or I would not have communicated
Hmm.
with him about
Yeah.
Casket. But
Hmm.
also being a part of the 48s, the indie film circle in Northeast Ohio, some of the
Yeah.
people I already know. So, but
Yeah.
I've
Hmm.
worked with some great directors.
Hmm.
So one of the first shorts that I did, and this was a horror comedy for a
Uh-huh.
48. It was called
Okay.
Dog Fog. DJ
Oh.
Clement was the director of that. Todd Bauer was the head
Nice.
writer. It was a group called Cosmic Octopus. They have a YouTube channel. Um,
Okay.
that experience, directly and indirectly, led to
Hmm.
opening so many other doors. And
Yeah.
when you retrace those steps, it's kind of it's pretty
Hmm.
cool.
Yeah. Oh, awesome. Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, I had a blast at Horror Hotel Film Festival recently, and yeah, I met so many amazing people, and a
Mhm.
lot of whom are going to be on this show, or already have been, or their episode is going to drop at the time of this recording, and yeah, but it's always amazing just meeting new people and seeing those creatives come together.
Mhm.
So in making Open Casket, what would you say was the most challenging aspect of making that film?
Well, we did a lot in a very short amount of time.
Hmm.
I think we covered close to 50 pages in the first couple days, which is unheard
Yeah.
of. So it was long days.
Hmm.
I obviously too, when you write something, even though I had budget in mind, there's certain scenes that I see in my head that much
Yeah.
grander than what we're capable of.
Hmm.
But
Of
the
course.
crew behind this did a phenomenal job
Hmm.
building as close to that as we possibly could, that I think is going to
Yeah.
look amazing on camera.
Hmm.
But the biggest challenge was I wrote a lot involving a wooden casket. We
Yeah.
couldn't get a wooden casket, so
Yeah.
we
Aw,
had to change some
unfortunately.
stuff
Yeah.
for that.
Mhm.
But we made it work, and
Yeah.
yeah. But I would say that was probably the biggest challenge.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what would you say was a challenge, but ended up being very like a very rewarding part of that filmmaking process?
Oh, that's a good question.
Hmm.
Well, so the fact that I wrote it 10 years ago, it wasn't really a challenge, I guess, but
Hmm.
so I wrote it with specific actors I knew in mind.
Okay.
None of them were in it. Mark cast everybody, but
Yeah.
they were all phenomenal. So it was,
Hmm.
so some of the
Yeah.
characters maybe were a little bit different than I envisioned, but not
Uh-huh.
worse. They were just different, and they
Yeah.
all came together so well. So,
Hmm.
but
Yeah.
that was it was interesting though.
Hmm. Yeah, because you're like, oh, I had this certain type in mind for this role, but
Right.
oh, this person's actually really good in it. Yeah, even if they don't fit the exact type that I originally had in mind. And
Yes.
and stuff like that happens all the time in
Hmm.
filmmaking, where it's like the role will call for like a tall blonde, but then some, maybe shorter brunette comes in and blows everybody away, and she's the one that ends up with the part. So
Right.
yeah, you never really know, and you can never really tell. And was there any part of that film that maybe you thought was going to turn out one way, kind of piggybacking off of that you thought maybe was going to out one way, but turned out completely different than what you originally envisioned?
Um, what one part, and it's me actually. So
Okay.
I play a cop in the movie.
Hmm.
Um, and the film takes place during Halloween weekend.
Ooh,
Well,
yeah, love it.
that's another thing too. Is in my mind it took place in Northeast Ohio, but we filmed in July in South Carolina.
So it's kind of, you had to like make a Halloween scene.
Well, that, and I'm wearing full cop gear and I'm just sweating.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm like dabbing paper towels between takes, and
Oh my gosh, yeah. Hmm.
so that part was a bit unexpected, I guess.
Yeah. Hmm. Yeah, well, yeah, because it's like you have to do the autumn scene with like the fall leaves, and then you guys are having to kind of dress for warmer weather when it's in the middle of summer. And yeah.
Fortunately, the majority of the scenes were filmed inside in air
Inside,
conditioning.
yeah.
Just none of mine were.
Yeah. We all suffer for our art.
Right? Yeah, I would pay that price any day. So,
uh, yeah. And speaking of Halloween, what are some of your favorite Halloween traditions?
so I don't know that I have like true traditions, but
Hmm.
I try to always get to at least one or two haunted houses, which
Yeah.
actually, oh, so I worked in a
Yeah.
haunted house in high school.
Ooh,
I
nice.
actually won. I don't know if you could see this.
Yeah.
Monster of the Week, week one, 1994, at
Oh, that is awesome.
the War JC's Haunted Armory. So keeping
Yeah.
that tradition alive, I try to hit at least a couple haunted houses.
Yeah.
Um, I also absolutely love pumpkin ale. So I go a
Mm.
bit haywire on that in October.
There you
And then
go.
just scary movies. And I
Oh,
watch at least two, three Michael Myers movies and
oh
Michael
yeah.
Myers movies. And I love
Hmm.
Trick or Treat too. Not the movie, not the process is fun too, I guess.
Yeah, cool.
But
Yeah.
the movie was what I was talking about.
Uh-huh. What would you say, is there a horror movie that either scared you as a kid or had like an impact on you? Maybe you weren't allowed to watch it, but you kind of snuck it in.
I'm very thankful. My parents were pretty lenient. We were allowed
That's
to watch
cool.
stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But the one thing that really sticks with me is
Mm-hmm.
Tales from the Crypt, the
Oh.
basketball episode where they saw the kid's leg off to fit him in the casket,
Oh, yeah.
and the
Oh
basketball
man.
just bouncing down the stairs. That episode, I was
Mhm.
probably maybe 9 or 10 when I saw that, and yeah.
Yeah. And
Oh,
it was
and
kind
another
of,
one,
uh-huh.
the or not Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street Part Three. I think it's three. The veins when he puppet walks him.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Those two
Oh,
scenes
I
I
know
can't
what
get out of
scene
my
you're
head.
talking about. That is like,
Yeah,
yeah. Like it's cool, but also kind of like, ew, oh my gosh. That looks so
yeah,
painful.
yeah. I haven't seen it in the past 15 years, probably,
Uh-huh.
but
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I know what scene you're talking about though. And it's
mhm,
just, yeah, like when like, yeah, the puppet and the van, it's like, oh
yeah,
man, yeah.
yeah. That one was.
Kind of yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, and are there any scary movies that you like to watch like now? What's your favorite scary movie to watch at Halloween time?
This is boring, but it's 1978's Halloween.
Oh, hey, no, that's not boring. I love that
What?
movie. That's a great
So,
movie.
like, I've watched Exorcist,
Yeah.
stuff like that. The Amityville Horror, is that the name of it? The,
Yeah. Amityville Horror.
those ones, like, I can't watch those alone, even to this day. They
Oh,
just
wow.
like I watched Exorcist when I was maybe 16 or 17. I didn't sleep right for a
Mhm.
week.
Oh
So,
my, yeah, that movie, it I would say it still holds up. That
right?
it's still that movie is still just freaky AF. You know?
Even if I'm just sitting at home by myself, like flipping through channels or whatever,
Yeah.
radio, the commercial comes on with the song. I'm freaked out. I gotta
Oh,
change it.
that's the tubular bells. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, I remember yeah, I first saw The Exorcist. I was little. I was young. And yeah, it was yeah, it freaked me out. I was like, "Oh my gosh." I yeah, kind of like you. Like I couldn't sleep for a good while.
Mhm.
And yeah, and even to this day, like I said, like that's one of those movies that you can watch it today and it'll still freak you out. Like it's
Exactly.
yeah, yeah. Um Another movie that I really like that I think still like at least for the most part holds up is Psycho with Anthony
Okay.
Perkins.
Yeah.
I yeah, I that's one of my favorite movies just because in the era that it was made and produced in, it was
Yeah.
actually pretty ahead of its time. And
Yeah.
a lot of hit I think a lot of Hitchcock movies were like that, where he was very forward thinking, and he, like, at least as far as his stories and his movies went. And the end of Psycho, as well as the end of Psycho 2, actually made me afraid to go into basements for a while.
Yeah. Well, you got to turn on the light or turn off the light
Yeah.
and run up the stairs real quick.
Oh yeah, yeah. But yeah, that they made me afraid of basements for a while. So
Yeah, Hitchcock
yeah.
definitely shaped a lot of what we
Hmm.
know now for, which
Oh
is
yeah,
his
yeah.
influence. I don't think you can overstate it.
Yeah, and the thing is, it's like, even if you watch some of his hour-long TV shows, like Alfred Hitchcock Presents,
Hmm.
some of the stuff you look like, and it's like, oh my gosh, like because you think of that time, like being, well, most people at least think of that era, like the 50s, 60s, as being, early 60s, as like kind of being all prim and proper, where I mean, and it's true,
Yeah.
you weren't allowed to show a lot of things on like TV and even in movies, because of the Hays Code that was, I think, enacted. I think it was like the 1930s or something like that. And because up until then, like early Hollywood was pretty much a free for all, but then
Mhm.
they enacted the Hays Code. But it just seemed to me like Hitchcock was kind of like, okay, what can I do to kind of bend this rule a little, push this boundary, but not totally get banned by the studios?
Yeah.
Yeah. And same thing, I think, with Rod Serling, who like made the Twilight Zone, because
Yeah.
I'd say a good portion of those episodes still hold up today. So
Yeah.
yeah.
That sort of horror that's just makes you uncomfortable, kind of.
Hmm.
That.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's the thing. Like, they didn't even really use a ton of gore. A lot of it was implied, but sometimes, I mean, I don't know about you, but sometimes I think that's scary than actually seeing
Oh,
what's happening, because your imagination is usually 10 times worse than
absolutely.
what you can actually see. So, and I think that that's what's also so freaky about some of those old time movies,
Mhm.
is that a lot of the stuff was implied, but it was done. But if the, like, say, Hitchcock and Serling, who knew what they were doing, they did it in a way to where it was just really just unsettling. So,
Yes. And
yeah.
the musical scores then too were just,
Yes. Hmm.
I, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's another thing too. The music also made those movies too.
Hmm.
Because I mean, everybody, who knows horror movies, at least for the most part, I would say, knows the Psycho intro.
Yeah.
Yeah, and yeah, and then of course everybody knows like the Twilight Zone theme. So yeah, those still, like, those hold up. And
Yeah.
is there a movie that you would say, okay, they didn't really do too much on like the traditional scares, like gore and showing like the killing on screen, but a lot of the stuff was more implied? Is there a movie that you enjoy that's like that?
Um, I mean, I keep going back to the original Halloween because, like, there
Hmm.
was not a lot of gore in that. It was the
That is true.
suspense.
Yeah.
They
Hmm.
did show a little bit, but I mean,
Yeah.
that the fact that it was a suspense of not what you're
Hmm.
seeing or what you're
Yeah.
imagining is in the dark waiting for you. Um,
Hmm.
I don't know about so much recently though.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
I did recently watch Obsession, and this, I don't know if you've seen that yet.
Yeah. What did you think of it?
I liked it.
You liked it?
I
Yeah.
I liked what they did with the scenes in the bedroom where you never really saw her face, so you didn't know what was going on there, and
Yeah.
that
Hmm.
was scarier than just showing a creepy smile or something.
Right. Yeah. No, I hear you. And yeah, I tend to really enjoy, like, just like the use of shadow, the use of music, creepy music. And
Hmm.
so sometimes you can do so much with so little and
Yes.
make a really good piece of art.
Hmm.
And yeah, and have people have it become a classic, have people just enjoy it. So
Yeah.
yeah. And is there any favorite like ghost story or urban legend that you tend to really like?
Um, hmm, not really. I'm a wuss. Those things all scare me.
You didn't
Like
grow up
the
with the scary stories to tell in the dark books, or
Yeah. Well, there's a place near me. I didn't experience this. I think my
Mhm.
sisters have been there. It's called
Uh-huh.
Five Points. And there's like five
Yeah.
roads that come together, and one of them is
Oh, okay. Yeah, I've
King
heard of
Graves
that.
Road.
Yeah.
So there's, I don't know the details behind
Hmm.
it, but there's something with there. But I stay far away from there in the dark.
Uh-huh.
So,
Oh gosh. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, there's a few over here in the Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania area. One in
yeah.
particular, I've visited it on a couple occasions. Blue Mist Road or Irwin Road. That's said to
Okay.
be one of the most haunted roads in
Oh,
Pennsylvania. And yeah, and um, and one thing that I'm doing, because Tony Lavorna and Thomas White, who are paranormal researchers, they wrote this
mhm.
book called Haunted Roads of Southwestern Pennsylvania, and I I started off doing like a little tour of some of the roads on the YouTube channel, and then it got too hot to do anything. So I'm going to resume probably this month when, because it doesn't seem to be as ungodly hot. So but yeah, but for a while it was just like, oh my gosh, you couldn't even really get outside to enjoy the weather unless you went out like super early. But
Well,
yeah.
it was deadly to breathe too, wasn't it? I was in South Carolina and I was seeing all these festivals near me canceled back home.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, I mean it is what it is. But yeah, but I figured, you know what, that would be another cool thing to resume for spooky season.
That
So
would be. But there's I believe it's in Ohio or Pennsylvania. Is it
hmm.
Crybaby Bridge? That a thing?
Yeah,
I don't know
yeah.
where it's
There
at though.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, because I was on the lobotomized podcast that actually went live on the day that we're recording this. So
Awesome.
so by the time this goes live, my lobotomized episode would have been live
All right.
for
I'll
probably
check
a
that
week.
out later.
But yeah, but yeah, but we were talking about stuff like this, and I think pretty almost every place has like a crybaby bridge, which
Oh
is what
yeah.
we were talking
Yeah.
about, because we have one here. We actually have a couple here, I think. And then I know, um, and I know we were talking about a couple in Ohio on lobotomized. So, um, but yeah, but that's another place that I'm going to be visiting is one of the crybaby bridges here. So yeah, so
Nice.
have you ever? I know you said you're a big wuss, but have
Yeah.
you ever visited any locations that have paranormal activity?
Not really that I
Hmm.
recall. I mean,
Hmm.
yeah, I don't think so. But what I was going to talk about though is an Ohio location. I have never been there, at least knowingly. But
Hmm.
Gretchen's Lock, which I believe
Okay.
is somewhere in Columbiana County.
Oh, okay.
Um,
Hmm.
so and the reason I'm bringing that up is
Hmm.
this is throwing it way back to filmmakers that have
Yeah.
had an influence. Josh
Yeah.
Menning was the writer director of that. And I've
Oh,
worked with him
okay.
on a couple other projects, and he
Hmm.
runs an amazing set. Very talented director,
Yeah.
amazing photographer,
Hmm.
super cool person. But
Yeah.
his first film it was an extended short. I believe it was about 45 minutes called Gretchen's
Hmm.
Lock. It was
Okay.
creepy. It was enough to get
Yeah.
you.
Hmm.
But I've done a couple movies with him, including one called Beast of Our Fathers, which is
Oh, okay.
it's a spin on a Bigfoot origin story.
Oh,
Um,
interesting.
yeah,
Yeah.
we were filming. I don't know how close we were to Gretchen's Lock when we were filming that, but we were filming
Yeah.
in the middle of the woods in October in
I'll have
South
to check that movie out.
Carolina.
Yeah. Hmm. Yeah. Awesome. Very cool. And have you ever had any paranormal experiences?
Well, so I think so.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Do tell.
All right. So this goes back to when I was in college. Okay. So
Okay.
the
Yeah.
the first part really happened. Okay.
Mhm.
We
Ooh.
had an
All right.
apartment fire. So
Oh,
I was asleep. I lived with my sister. I was asleep. It's
yeah.
like 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. I hear her screaming my name, and I wake up thinking, what the hell's going on? So I
Yeah.
open my bedroom door, and this blast of heat and smoke hits me in the face. And I
Ooh.
shut my door real quick. And I'm like, oh my God, apartment's on fire. That's why she's, yelling for me.
Yeah.
So I start to jump out the window. I stopped. I was like, wait, I should probably put pants on first. I threw a pair of pants on real quick, jumped out the window, and it was a pretty big apartment complex. It was in Columbus, Ohio.
Yeah.
But I sprinted like around the back of the complex, which is where my bedroom window was, to the front, and
Uh-huh.
I stumbled up to the front door, and her boyfriend came stumbling out. She was in
Hmm.
her bedroom yelling for me. I thought she was near the front door. So she actually had to
Oh.
go past the love seat that was on fire on the other side of the wall where my bed was, which
Oh.
apparently it started with a cigarette butt that was left on the
Oh. Oh
arm of
no.
the love seat. But
Yeah.
anyhow, this was about a week or two later. We have a new apartment now,
Uh-huh.
and I have this recurring nightmare where now I'm a side sleeper. I would wake up on my
Right.
back, out
Mm-hmm.
of breath. The dream was there was like this ghostly figure on top of me, like holding
Ooh.
me down, strangling me. I would wake up out of breath. So
Ooh.
one day my sister comes to me and she's like, Jason, I'm getting freaked out. I've had this
Mm.
recurring nightmare. And she proceeds to describe the exact same nightmare that I'm having. And my eyes were like,
Oh
I've
my
had that same
God.
nightmare like 3 times this week. And
Yeah.
we didn't really have anything after that in our new apartment, but that was enough
Yeah.
to like, raise the hair on the back of your neck.
Wow.
It was creepy.
And you didn't see what it was or anything,
I
or
did not see what it was.
it's like you
I,
probably do you even want to, or
yeah, yeah, I'd rather
Mhm.
not.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
there was another time at another apartment years later,
Yeah.
and I
Hmm.
was just laying down in bed, and I swear I heard a woman whisper in my ear. I was home alone.
Ooh.
She just said my name, and I kind of jumped up, and it was like, whoa, what? That
Yeah.
creeped me out. But I
Oh
never
my.
actually physically saw anything. So those were
Right.
probably the
Mhm.
two closest experiences to,
Oh
I
wow.
guess, truly experiencing paranormal activity that I've had.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, because I've also I do some living history at history
Yeah,
sites, and yeah, there is definitely stuff in those old houses that date back to the late 18th century, early 19th century. And I've had a couple of paranormal research teams on this show too. Most recently, Whispering Souls Paranormal. And they said, interestingly, the least activity is in a cemetery.
interesting. Yeah.
It's interesting.
Well,
Yeah, because, yeah, but it
well,
does.
they're dead by the time they get there.
Yeah.
So,
Well, the thing too is, and another thing that they also mentioned too is that spirits they don't want to hang around their bodies. You know?
that's a good point. Yeah.
It's like, yeah, they don't want to hang around. They don't want to hang around that part. They would rather, if they're going to hang around, go back to a place that meant something to them, like an old home or
Right.
some other place where that was like significant to them in their lifetime. And I was like, oh yeah, that makes sense, because I was surprised too at first when they said that cemeteries usually have the lowest amount of paranormal activity, but when they explained it, I was like, oh, okay, yeah, actually that makes sense. You
That makes
know?
a lot of sense. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Huh.
So yeah. Mm-hmm.
Have you ever seen the movie The Others?
Yes.
So
Yes.
that
Mm-hmm.
that it just kind of reminds me of that, and it's not
Mm-hmm.
necessarily a theory I have, but what if like ghosts and the spirits, and it's just they're in
Yeah.
the same space in a different time, and it's not even really a haunt. Do you know what
You
I mean?
know, I've often thought about that just because I am a history buff. I've been to a lot of history sites and historical places. Gettysburg is a perfect shining example of that, because you see so much activity. There's a lot of activity there.
Hmm.
And there was one time late at night when I was there, when and it was late at night. So there were no reenactments. There were
Right.
no fireworks, no nothing. when at a battlefield, I heard it was like sounded like cannons and gunfire going off across the field. And I was just, and yeah, and it was just like, wow. And it does leave you to wonder. It's like, okay, is that it residual energy? Could be. Or could it be we're having two time periods
Right.
cross each other? And I'm standing in the middle of a battle. You know?
Yeah.
So, yeah. No, but I always thought that that was a very interesting theory as well, and I'm totally with you on that, because I think that that's very possible. It's
Mhm.
possible that all of time is existing all at once in one form or another, which I know can be very trippy and like mind explode
Right.
when you really think about it. But it's I think anything is possible as far
Cool.
as that goes,
Yeah.
you know. And even and time is, I mean, I've always said time is man-made. Our calendars have switched how many times?
That's yeah.
You know, even the fact that we can even talk about whether or not to ditch daylight savings time, and some areas are, you know, kind of says,
Yeah.
hey, you know, that's time is a
Well,
man-made thing. Yeah.
and then there's certain time like memories that you have in your life of
Hmm.
just a singular moment that you don't know why you had that memory, but like you
Hmm.
remember that specific moment for no other
Yes.
reason than you remember it. And
Hmm.
like obviously there's big events, you know, if you have like the birth of your child, there's major
Yeah.
milestones, but like
Hmm.
there's this one memory I have. I
Hmm.
was maybe 12 years old and I was just
Yeah.
sitting on the steps and I remember looking out to see if it was going to be a snow day.
Right.
I probably did that 100, 200 times, but for
Hmm.
whatever reason, I remember that specific moment and I don't know why. There was
Yeah.
nothing extra going on. It was just, oh, I remember that. Like I could almost step
Hmm.
back into it. I remember it so well.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, but even when we made the switch from the Julian calendar to the Gregorian calendar, and I don't think it was widely accepted until about like the early 18th century, but there's this running joke where people went to bed, I think it was like October 5th, and woke up on October 15th.
Oh,
Because they
wow.
switched the calendar.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they switched the calendar, because the
Wow.
Julian calendar goes on like it's like a 13-month calendar and
Okay.
28 days. It goes a little bit more with the moon cycle.
When did
And
that happen?
well, they introduced the Gregorian calendar actually back in the medieval era, but
Mhm.
it wasn't widely accepted yet or widely practiced
Um,
until later, until a few centuries later. Um,
Interesting.
but yeah, there's this whole big conspiracy behind that as to why they did that. I mean, a lot of it has to do with taxes and all, you know, tax periods and all of
Always
that.
taxes.
It's always taxes, it's always money. But if you look at the calendar that Ethiopia runs on, and I heard this and I had to look it up to be sure. um, the calendar that Ethiopia runs on actually, it's very similar to the Julian calendar, and they're in the year 2018.
Oh, wow. I don't know if I like that.
Yeah, yeah. They're in the year 2018, so it's like, yeah, if you want to age backward a few years, go to Ethiopia or
Yeah.
something.
I wouldn't
But
mind going back to 2018.
yeah, I know, right? Hey, but yeah, but I was just like, oh my, like, yeah. Hey, so, but yeah, but it's one of those things where, you know, time is not really a linear thing, and yeah, like to your point, there could be different events
Yeah.
being happening right now as we speak. You know, I mean, there might be a dinosaur walking through your room right now, and you wouldn't know it. So
There's a couple cats, but
yeah. Yeah, but yeah, but do you tend to think it's more of like interdimensional time weaving together or
I think it could
residual?
be. I think it
Hmm.
could be. I certainly
Yeah.
think it could be. I
Yeah.
mean, nobody knows the truth.
Right.
I mean,
Yeah.
so I think it's a possibility.
Hmm. Yeah,
And
I think I think it can be a little bit of all of the above. I think it can be interdimensional, inner time like that. I think part of
Mhm.
it's just residual energy. I think sometimes you might really have some human spirits hanging around. And then sometimes it's not a very good entity depending on the situation.
Yeah,
Yeah. So I
I
think
think I like to believe it's the first one because it's less scary.
it's less scary. Yeah. But yeah, to your point, like the movie The Others, that I thought that that was a really like cool take on a paranormal film.
I
Yeah.
agree. I didn't see the twist coming until as soon as they did it. It was like,
Yeah.
oh,
Hmm.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So is there a movie that you saw recently that you really like?
Um, I did enjoy Obsession.
Obsession. Okay.
Uh, this wasn't really scary, but since
Mhm.
we've been talking about Halloween, this was
Mhm.
a few years ago I saw
Yeah.
this, and I'm not even sure where it's at now.
Hmm.
It's a Halloween movie. It's
Okay,
more of
good.
a coming of age story. The
Okay.
twist is pretty obvious, but the movie
Hmm.
just it's called The Boys in the Trees, and I believe
I've
it's an Australian
oh,
film.
okay. I've not
There's
seen that, but I've heard,
It
yeah.
is absolutely worth watching if you can find a way to do so.
Oh.
There's
Uh-huh.
there's one line in particular that stuck with me, and
Yeah.
I think that the two boys are up high in a tree, and
Uh-huh.
they're talking about being afraid to fall or something to that effect. And he
Oh.
says most people aren't afraid they'll fall. Most people are afraid they'll jump. And that's just
Oh my God. Yeah.
like I think it's the call of the
Yeah.
void, I think is what they call it,
Oh, okay.
where I don't
Interesting.
know. I'm a wuss. Paranormal heights, another fear of mine. But like that's
Oh.
part of the fear is like, what if something takes over me and makes me jump? And like, I don't want to do
Oh.
that.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
apparently that's more common than I realized after I looked into it a little bit.
Mm.
So,
Yeah. Yeah, yeah,
but
you got to be careful and, just make sure you're protected and all that stuff if
yeah.
you're gonna, yeah, absolutely. And back to Open Casket. So,
Hmm.
where are we going to be able to see it? Do you have a release date for it? Because I know it sounds like something I'd want to see. So, yeah,
Awesome.
inquiring minds
So
want to
we
know. So,
we do not have a release date pinned
mhm.
down for you. It just entered post production a week ago.
Okay. Hmm.
Um, so the goal is to have it finished by the end of the year
Okay.
and submitted to several 2027 film festivals.
Yeah.
And I believe the goal for the world premiere of Open
Hmm.
Casket would be next May at
Okay.
Crimson Screen Horror Film Festival, which
Oh,
is currently held
cool.
in Columbia, South Carolina, at the
Yeah.
Nickelodeon Theater, which that's where I met Mark,
Mhm.
where Vroom played, where Mary's Lake played.
Yeah.
Um,
Hmm.
I do plan to coordinate with him to hopefully do at least one Ohio premiere. And
Hmm.
then beyond that, I'm not sure in terms of limited
Yeah.
theatrical. Will we just, straight to streaming? If so, will
Hmm.
it be Tubi, Bloodstream?
Right.
A lot is still to be
All of the
determined.
above could be.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah,
hopefully.
absolutely. Yeah.
So, but
Cool.
probably mid next year, I should be able to tell people,
Yeah,
check
yeah,
out my
definitely keep
movie.
me posted. Yeah, definitely keep me posted. I'd
Absolutely.
love to
Mhm.
see it.
And
And what advice would you have for somebody looking to make their own film and go the indie route?
just do it. So,
Yeah.
so how I got started in
Mhm.
film
Yeah.
is that I'll give you this kind of a two-part story. So the
Hmm.
first is how I actually got into acting because I've actually been an accountant for 23 years now.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah.
I was the division treasurer of a steel mill that went bankrupt, and got sold to a scrap
Mhm.
dealer in bankruptcy.
Yeah.
During that time, they had the open casting call for Captain America: The Winter Soldier in Cleveland. I
Oh.
drove up to that on a whim,
Uh-huh.
ended up getting cast as a shield agent, background shield agent. But I wore
Okay.
like a personally tailored Armani suit for
Yeah.
2 days, which was worth way
Yeah.
more than the $200 or $300 I got paid. But I
Yeah.
had such an experience on set. And I
Hmm.
networked. I talked to other extras. I learned other people that were
Yeah.
doing stuff. And I
Hmm.
found out about Ohio Pal. I don't know if you've heard of that. It's
Okay.
Northeast Ohio
What is that?
Performing Arts List.
Oh, okay. Hmm.
So, which is more theater geared, but there's also
Right.
film. There's
Hmm.
audition notices. There's
Yeah.
play reviews. There's all kinds of stuff. So I parlayed that into
Hmm.
being an extra in a short film, into
Hmm.
doing a student film, which led me to
Yeah.
doing the 48, which led me to
Nice.
meeting more people and just going from there.
Yeah.
And then on a
Hmm.
certain film, a film called Lux and Tenebris,
Hmm.
um, which is an independent film. Bruno Tatalovic, awesome guy. He directed it. You might know
Yeah.
Bruno.
I
He's
know
sort of
Bruno. Yeah.
visual. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So
I know Bruno. Yeah.
I played. I actually played two characters in that movie. I played the good guy
Mhm.
son in the current day and his
Okay.
asshole father in flashbacks. But
Hmm.
I met a girl on that set who explained the outline
Hmm.
process to me. And then
Yeah.
my first screenplay, Chainsaw Diaries, was born because I went
Mm,
home and I had a
nice.
54 scene outline for the
Yeah.
screenplay that I wrote. So
Hmm.
that was the first screenplay I wrote, and that placed
Yeah.
at horror hotel. And then
Hmm.
so I kept doing the acting, going to the film
Hmm.
festivals, all that stuff. And at a certain point, I started writing and won a couple of awards. My friend Jerry, who
Yeah.
I met on the set of Dog Fog, he started writing
Hmm.
as well. And he reached out to
Okay.
me for feedback on one of his screenplays. So I gave him
Okay.
my feedback and we
Hmm.
started talking. And it turned into us basically venting to one another that all of our
Hmm.
director friends have
Hmm.
3 other projects in the works when we bring something to them. So we said,
Yeah.
you know what? Let's write something simple that we could film with just the two of us
Hmm.
and a phone.
Yeah.
So the idea for the web series Rivals was born, which we
Nice.
introduced a third character, but
Hmm.
it's about two idiot roommates that compete over everything and
Uh-huh.
inadvertently ruin their third roommate's life in the process.
Oh gosh.
So, but then that screenplay won Best Comedy at 2016 Indie Gathering. So it was like, okay,
Oh,
so now we
yeah.
had a producer lined up, a director lined up, and we're like, okay, we're going to do this
Mhm.
big. They had to back out 10 days before we were going to shoot. And it was like,
Oh
so
no.
I spent about a day sulking. And then I was
Yeah.
like, wait a second. We wrote this to be simple. I went through the script. I
Yeah.
was like, there's nowhere where all three of us have to be on camera at the same time.
Right.
I'm
Yeah.
going to teach myself how to edit. I'm going to learn how to film on my phone, and we're going to get together and shoot it.
Yeah.
And we did. There was actually four of us. Our friend Sam Stevens. So it was Jerry Lee
Mhm.
Tucker, myself, Brian
Yeah.
Hanna, and Sam Stevens got together at my house, and we filmed the pilot episode for Rivals. It's called Pissing
Mhm.
Contest. It's on YouTube.
Oh
But that
gosh.
led to us the second episode we did called Yoga.
Uh-huh.
That started attracting people that wanted to work with us and help us
Yeah.
do more.
Mhm.
So we built over the next 16 or the next year and a half, we did 16 episodes of
Okay.
Rivals. Jerry
Yeah.
stepped away. He's like a
Mhm.
Cleveland police captain, acting police chief now. He can't really
Oh.
do this type of web series anymore because there's a lot of dick jokes.
Yeah, so yeah, I know there are some jobs
But
where you can't
yeah,
really, yeah.
but
So,
but he stepped away and we built up this crew of people and we're like,
mhm.
let's help them tell their stories too.
Yeah.
And so Tuck and Kling and Friends, now TKF
Mhm.
Films, was born. And
Yeah.
but throughout that process, like I've learned how to write, I've learned how to direct, I've learned how to edit. It's
Yeah.
because I got out there and I did it. I wasn't afraid to fall on
Mhm.
my face. Like, if you
Right.
really want to be good at something, you have to be
Yeah.
willing to be bad at it. Like that's
Exactly.
so. And
Exactly.
I
Mhm.
was I was afraid to be bad at it, but I was willing to be
Mhm.
bad at it. So
Yeah. Yeah, no, but that's so true. I mean, because that's the only way you're going to learn. That's the only way you're going to get
yeah,
better and keep on
hmm
getting better with each project is,
yeah,
if you're okay, I'm willing to suck at this right now, but
yes,
but I know if I keep going, I will learn more and I'll be able to to be able to do more things with, with my films. Like
Hmm.
maybe my next film, I'll be able to do like a little bit more of an elaborate set or
Yes.
something, because
Hmm.
even like the start of this podcast, it was a lot of experimenting and
Yeah.
kind of trial and error, and it was a little bit before I kind of got my mood lighting and
Yeah.
just to create the whole atmosphere. But the first couple episodes, like I have some mood stuff, but not like the mood lighting to the extent that it is now. And hey, I want to expand on that now. I want to expand
Yeah.
on that too.
Absolutely.
But the thing is, it's like, but the point is, if you try to wait until you're absolutely perfect, until you have
Hmm.
all of the right equipment, until you have everything to do it, you will never do it.
Yeah.
Because
Absolutely.
even by the time, let's say, all right, you do acquire all the best equipment, by the time you acquire all the best equipment, there's going to be upgrades to that equipment.
Yeah. Yeah. Every
You know,
couple months, there's the newest best thing.
exactly. So you may as well just start where you're at right now. Don't listen to the idiots who are like, oh, yeah, just give it up. Blah, blah, blah. It's like, yeah, shut up. What are you doing? You're doing
Yeah.
nothing. So your opinion doesn't mean anything. And we
Yeah.
kind of talked a little bit about that on my lobotomized episode, just because it's like,
Yeah.
yeah. And usually the people who are saying that, again, it's like, they're usually not going to be putting themselves out there or
Yeah.
doing anything that's really going to be talked about or anything like that. Because people who, and this is a saying that I heard and I find it to be true. It's like people that are doing what you're doing and excelling at it and are further along than you are not going to be coming for you. They're not going to be the ones sitting there being like, oh, what are you doing? It's
Yeah.
usually the ones who aren't doing much. And
Yeah.
then they hide behind faceless profiles and stuff like
Hmm.
that. But
Yeah.
yeah, but that's the thing though, too. I mean, and it does take a lot to suck at first, and then but that's how you learn. That's how you get better.
Absolutely.
That's how
Hmm.
everybody learned. You know,
Right. Yeah.
everybody, no matter who you talk about. If we're talking about Steven Spielberg, I guarantee you, if we look at some of his first maybe student films, they're probably not what he later on went on to produce. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So, but yeah, but that's always good advice. Just do it. Just do it.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
don't
Yeah.
be
Attend
afraid of
film festivals.
people
You
think.
can do it. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
I didn't mean
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, all right. So, but where can people find you and find out more about your work and stuff?
Um, so I have a YouTube channel. It's TKF Films Ohio or
Okay.
TKFOH. So
Mm-hmm.
that is home to the Rivals web series.
Okay.
The one I mentioned earlier with pissing
Yeah.
contest
I
and
wonder if
yoga.
I'm following that yet. I'll have to check, but
Well, we,
okay.
we have an episode playing at Indie Gathering this coming weekend. It's Laundry Day,
Oh,
which is
okay.
sort of a universe
Yeah.
expanding episode where we meet all the
Mm-hmm.
neighbors finally after 20
Nice.
episodes.
Yeah.
So, and that's probably my favorite episode we've done because it's the biggest
Mm-hmm.
cast and fun
Nice.
connection too. The director of photography on that, Keith Collins, was the one that was
Mm-hmm.
initially supposed to be the director of
Yeah.
Rivals, but had to back out due
Mm-hmm.
to contractual obligations.
Okay. Yeah.
But it was kind of fun bringing him back, and I think we've
Mm-hmm.
both grown from where we were 10 years ago, and
Mm-hmm.
working with him was amazing. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's
So,
awesome.
but
That's
yeah,
awesome.
PKF
Yeah.
Films, Ohio. Cosmic
Yeah.
Octopus also has a channel on YouTube that I'm in several of their shorts as an actor.
Oh, okay. Awesome. Yeah. Well, yeah, good luck at Indie Gathering.
Well,
It's
thank you. Yeah.
yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's awesome. And yeah, and are you on like Instagram or Facebook or anything or
I'm on Instagram. I'm just Jason.Klingensmith on
okay.
Instagram. On
Yeah.
Facebook, Jason Klingensmith. There's a
Mm-hmm.
TKF films page, arrivals page.
Okay.
I share a bunch of stuff there.
Nice.
Yeah,
Yeah, oh, very cool.
that's mostly my shorts and whatnot.
Very cool. Yeah, I'll have to see if I'm following that. And if not, I will follow. But
Appreciate that.
absolutely. And yeah, well, it was definitely a pleasure talking with you and catching up
Thank
with
you.
you after meeting at Horror Hotel.
Can I give a shout out to the cast of Open Casket individuals before we
Yes,
go?
absolutely.
So,
Yes. Hmm.
so the lead actress, her name's Ariana Harris.
Okay.
Incredibly talented young lady. She's in a couple of movies you can watch now.
Hmm.
Blood on the Bleachers was one of
Okay.
them, which we watched just last week,
Yeah.
and Broken Innocence was the other one.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
Other cast members, Vinny Pacifico. He
Okay.
is a professional wrestler, goes by the Energy Drink King. Um,
Hmm. Okay.
Jonathan
Yeah.
Thor Reigns, he was
Mhm.
phenomenal. Penny Aphrodite, she plays the character of Tina. From the
Mhm.
first line she read at the table read was amazing. Um,
Yeah.
Maya Claridge plays Amber,
Mhm.
super talented actress, does theater in New York. Um,
Awesome.
Jalen, I don't know if I'm supposed to say his last name, so I'll just say Jalen.
Okay.
he, uh, he plays the character of Jackson. He was great.
Nice. Okay.
So I mentioned Mark. That's the main six cast. Yeah, they were all amazing. So
Awesome.
yeah, and you'll be able to see
Yeah.
them in Open Casket hopefully sometime next year.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I said, definitely keep me posted on when you guys are doing the premiere and stuff. And yeah, because I'd love to check that out.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. So
Appreciate that.
yes, absolutely. So yeah, but thank you so much for coming on and
Oh,
chatting and yeah, and
thank you for
sharing your
having me.
yeah, no problem. And thank you for sharing your creative process and just your perspectives on different topics, horror movies, paranormal, all of that stuff. And when Open Casket comes out, I'd love to like have you on, and even
Oh,
a
that would
couple
be
cast
wonderful.
members if they're up for it. So
Absolutely.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. So, all right, but definitely check out Jason's work. I will leave them in the description. And thank you again. And thank you to everybody for listening and for just kind of boosting up the listeners, the downloads on all of the streaming platforms and on YouTube. Thank you so much for listening. On some of the streaming platforms, we've been getting a surge in listenership, which is always good to see. And, just because, we're all here to lift each other up and to just celebrate all of our unique individual talents and gifts that we can give to the world. And that's what's most important. So thank you again, Jason, for coming on. And thank you, everybody, for listening. And as always, wherever you are, stay fierce, stay safe, but of course, stay spooky.